Here we go. What's up, Homestead homies? It's Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. I'm Doug.
I'm Stacy.
And this is
our little cutie pie who doesn't have a name yet.
To be determined. Tomorrow is November 17th. It's Friday, and we're going to have a live show at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we are going to name this puppy. We're going to drop 3 names on you guys while you're watching the show. And then we are going to, well, we'll let the video upload too, so guys that can't catch the live show will be able to leave their comment what they think.
You can vote. And
then you guys will vote it out, and then that's it. Tomorrow night we're going to have a name for this dog. So you guys got to watch that video within the first 24 hours, or first 12 hours, because we're coming up with a name, because that's it. We got to have a name so we can start training her in proper like.
That's right.
So this is the video you guys have been waiting for. We're going to start today. We're talking about the raw food diet for dogs. We're going to show you guys what we've been doing and how we took her immediately off of the kibble that she was being fed. They weaned her, and then they started giving them kibble. We don't go for the kibble, so we put her right on the raw food diet,
because
and we're going to talk about it.
Basically is a dead food. Most of them are full of grains. Dogs are not meant to process grains. They, are carnivores, and they have a very short digestive tract, which can eat a lot of things, and it just goes right through them. And then when they eat food like that, it just wreaks havoc on them, and they're getting all the same diseases and stuff that humans are getting, and they're supposed to be healthy and full of energy. And so we've done many dogs on a raw food diet and have lots of successes with it, and she is doing great so far. So
in this video here, we're going to run down a few things for you guys. We're going to give you some examples of what we're doing, and let's get this video started.
So one of a wonderful reason why we do a raw food diet is because they do eat a lot of the raw meaty bones, which is basically like the best dental floss, plaque remover that you can ever imagine. Dogs that are on a raw food diet have the most beautiful teeth. We just had some friends that stopped by, and she couldn't believe, Faith, our older Airedale, how beautiful her teeth were. And actually, years and years ago, when we had started, I had a dog, and after 2 years, the teeth were so horrible, full of plaque and tartar. And at these veterinary clinics, I mean, they're cleaning dogs' teeth crazy because of all the kibble, because they don't have any way to kind of help floss the teeth from the bones, and it's just kind of a natural process. So dogs really do enjoy this. It exerts a lot of energy from them, and it cleans their teeth. It helps from, any kind of tooth decay and from tartar and plaque, and whitens their teeth, and they look great.
So like Stacy said, the bones help clean the teeth, but when you feed them a raw food diet, it also helps with their breath. Everybody loves puppy breath, but you don't like it once that yucky old kibble breath starts settling in, and then you notice there's like a yucky smell. Like sometimes you get around people and they have bad breath too because they're not taking care of their teeth. Not her.
Another reason why we go with the raw food diet is you don't have to clean up so much when they poop. They have very little poops, and the poops hardly even smell. And it was amazing with her when we brought her back. After the first day, the first poop was kind of stinky because she still had that kibble left over, but it was amazing afterwards. When she poops, it does not smell anymore, and just a slight odor. And especially even with her, with a bigger dog like that, we hardly have, they're much smaller poops, and they don't poop as often. Oh, look at that.
Right on cue.
It was so funny. How funny is that?
Another thing you're going to notice when you feed your dog a raw food diet is the energy and vitality that it has. Even with our older dogs, they have a lot more energy. They're a little more playful, and we've even noticed that with our puppy since we brought her home.
Another advantage of the raw food diet in puppies and in older dogs is the low incidences of skin problems and allergies. You know how they bite their feet with like yeast type problems, their ears, their skin, the scratchy skin. So it's been amazing. We have not had any problems with this. No allergies at all or skin issues in these dogs.
Another thing you're going to notice too with your raw food diet for your dogs is the coat is much nicer. It's very soft and it has a good sheen to it. It's not oily and greasy. This is an adult Airedale Terrier, and her coat is very nice to the touch. And then as you can see too with our puppy, She's very shiny, but she's not oily, so her hair is really looking good, and that's another benefit that you're going to see almost pretty quick when you have a raw food diet introduced to your dogs. Just went over some of the benefits, definitely, of feeding your dog a raw food diet. Now we're going to kind of break into some of the food of it. Like how we do it, what you can use, how to introduce the food. You know, we're going to just kind of get into a little bit of that right now before we wrap up the video.
Yeah, so the first 3 months, and our little baby she's about 7.5 weeks old. So I went cold turkey with her. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna freak out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But generally, I found with all mine, it's just easy just to, you know, go cold turkey with it. And that night when we had gotten her, we got home in the evening, she didn't really eat most of the day or night. I just gave her plenty of good clean water, and then we just did it cold turkey. And I fed her in the morning, and I basically, when we did it, we picked one type of meat, and chicken is a really easy one to tolerate, and I would probably suggest starting with chicken. And I used a ground up chicken, which was chicken with the bone in it, with the organs in it, everything was just ground up.
Right.
And because that way she's going to get the bones, because dogs are meant to eat.
They need calcium.
They need the calcium, they need the meat, they need the bones, they need the fat. So that's the basis of their diet.
Try to do raw food diets and you're just giving your dog like a raw piece of chicken breast. That is not helping your dog, especially in the puppy stage. Their bones are growing, their teeth are going to be starting to come in, so they have to have a lot of calcium, and not
the phosphorus
not like
from the meat.
Calcium you sprinkle on their stuff. They need that bone, that good, solid, natural calcium.
And they need it ground up, because within the first 3 months of life or so, their mama would be coming in the wild.
Right.
She'd chewed up the food, she's going to regurgitate it,
right.
And basically the puppy will eat it like that, already ground up, because they're not able at this young age to eat like a big hunk of meat.
Yeah, they still have milk teeth. They can't even get into that stuff. So don't feed your dog. Don't just get a piece of chicken and throw it to your dog with a bone in it when they're this young. You have to start them off with it totally ground up.
Right, and then they definitely need the organ meats, like the heart and the kidneys and liver, because they are very nutrient rich, and a puppy is crucial when they're it's crucial for them when they're in their development, when they're growing, that they're getting this good ratio of all the vitamins and minerals at this young age. So that's why it's so good. You just get the whole chicken, grind it all up. You know, if you have a turkey, if you have rabbits, if you have lamb, you know, whatever, quail, it's good to, you know, to try all these different types of meats, but you want to introduce them when they're young like this. Like I started the first week with chicken, now my second week I'm with turkey, then the next week I'm going to move on and I think go to lamb, ground up, and then that way I'll just change it every week, and then that way her system will get used to all these different types of meats.
Right. So
when she's older, then I can include them. So the puppies, like I said, she's 7.5 weeks old. She's doing phenomenally. We started her, I'll give you an example of a meal. All I did is you have to break it up when they're anywhere between, you know, 6 and 12 weeks old, after they've been weaned. You want to feed them about 4 times a day. They have a very high metabolism. They're running around, they're growing. So what I do is...
And not like a pound 4 times a day. We take the, what is the weight ratio?
So depending on their weight for the puppy, you want to go anywhere from 5 to 8%
right.
of what they weigh. Because the thing is you're going to have to look and see, and then you divide that up.
That's what I was going to say.
4
times.
So
that 8%, we break that down into like a little chunk in the morning, a nice chunk in the afternoon, a nice chunk later in the afternoon, and then before she goes to bed, she gets another little treat just so she has a nice full belly. But you got to kind of watch them too, because all dogs have different metabolisms.
Oh my gosh, it's
like
so true. Yeah.
Our white lab that you guys have seen on our videos, she had a super high metabolism, so she could really eat a lot of food. But Faith, the other Airedale that we have now that's training up this new puppy, she has a much lower metabolism, so she doesn't require that much food.
Yeah, and so Faith's really good about eating when they get old once a day. Our other one definitely had to eat 2 times a day.
Right.
But with a puppy, they just have different requirements because they need all. I mean, it's amazing.
A lot of you guys have babies. I mean, it's the same thing, right?
She's eating almost a pound of meat.
Yeah, or a little more.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
some days it depends. So sometimes if they act hungry, you know, then and usually with a raw food diet, when they're full, they'll stop eating. So when they're done, then you know, and if they don't eat it all, just save it and give it to the next feeding. And then when we get to the next stage at 12 weeks, I'm going to lower down to 3 times a day. But right now, until 12 weeks, 3 months old, she's going to eat 4 times a day.
And you'll notice too with puppies that they'll have a little less water consumption, because even with our older dog, they're getting the water from the real food. So you'll notice too that you'll see a difference in how much water your dog is actually drinking.
And then, good note, I also put raw apple cider vinegar in her water.
Always.
Too. All the dogs, and I put them in immediately, and she loves it, and, and it seems to work out really good.
Yeah, she looked at me the other day, she was like, where's my apple cider vinegar?
You forgot. I want to give you guys an example of how we fed her. What I've done now since we've gotten her, this is what I've done. I've done the chicken, and right now on week 2 that I've had her, I'm on the turkey, the ground turkey that has the bones and the organ meat in it. I've also added some kelp. Kelp is wonderful because it is something that's high in iodine, and the iodine is crucial for their glandular health, their metabolism, their hormones, all those little things that they need when they're growing, their tissues, their immune system. So I put a little sprinkle. We use it on all of our animals.
Just a little sprinkle.
For her, she's a little sprinkle. Like Faith, I would give her a tablespoon because Faith's almost 100 pounds.
Right.
But for a little baby, I just put a little sprinkle. I mix it in kind of the burger meat.
Of the whole 8 ounces, right? So then, you know, it's not every time we feed her through the day.
Right. So I mix that all in there. And then the other thing I'm going to put in there is a little type of fiber. So if you think of an animal out in the wild, they might be running around eating some sticks, or they might be eating some grass. Or if they would get an animal, they would eat the inside, you know, like a ruminant type animal. You have something called the tripe, which is the green stuff in there. It's a really good probiotic. I mean, it's good just to kind of add to their diet, adding the tripe. Or I add like some cooked spinach, maybe from the garden, or some kale, and then I might like soak it in some apple cider vinegar to get it nice and squishy, because the fiber is just going to go right through them. Yeah. It's meant not to do anything. It's basically to help with digestion. So you just want to make it kind of squishy. If you even get canned spinach, it can be canned green beans, you can do some pumpkin. But like for the little puppy, the size of my thumbnail is all she's going to get. For my bigger dog, then she might get like a tablespoon.
Every day?
With her with her meal, yeah.
Every day?
Yeah, it could be every day. But you know what? It's not, if you forget one day, that's fine. You don't have to do it.
Because they're asking. I mean, they're like, does she say every day?
So right now as the puppy, I'm just putting the meat, the bones, everything, the organs mixed up, and then the kelp, and then just a little bit. This past time, I've just done some spinach. So I put a little spinach in there, just a teeny bit, like the size of my fingernail, mix it all up, and then I split it up in 4 different doses, and then I give it to her.
So what we do is we actually put in a bag 8 ounces worth of that food, and then we can actually break out 4 or 5 different bags, and then every day we know this bag is for today, so then we squeeze out a little bit in the morning, go back to that same bag, squeeze a little bit out in the afternoon. That way you can just kind of monitor a little better. Some people could buy you know, food online or something, and they send it to you. It's just like in a hamburger tube, like you would get if you ever had venison or raw hamburger at the store or anything. It comes in that kind of a thing, so it might be a little harder to regulate and everything.
And a lot of stores aren't carrying it. You do see a lot more people, because as the puppy, I think, would be the part where you really, you know, you grind it yourself, you can buy it, and then when they get a little older is when you can really, it's much easier too. Yeah.
All right, so what do you think of the hot tips? This series is gonna go on again. We're gonna show you guys in another little bit when she starts graduating and stuff.
Well, now the funny thing is she's showing an interest now, because she's almost 8 weeks.
Yep.
She's showing an interest in the bones, the raw meaty bones.
Right.
She's been grabbing some bigger pieces that Faith has left over that she hasn't eaten. But what's good about that is you have to look at the size of your dog. I'm not going to give a little dog a great big like thigh bone, which is what could break her teeth. You want to look at the size of your dog and then the bones that you're going to give the dog. So I'm letting her have some pieces that, you know, aren't really sharp or anything, and they're smaller, and she's chewing on them right now. So what I think I might do is possibly, and she likes these even little round marrow bones.
The round marrow bones are great for your dogs. Yeah,
so I'm kind of watching her and her behavior, because she's looking like she's wanting, you know, a little bit more. And when she gets a little closer to 12 weeks, I mean, I'm going to start implementing a little bit more. And we'll, like chicken backs and chicken necks are a great way to start, because they're a softer bone and they're easier to chew up.
And just because, I know you guys are on the other side, you're like, they said don't feed your dog bones. if you're watching these videos or you're interested in feeding your dog raw food diets, you do never ever feed your dog cooked bones. That is the problem. The cooked bones could actually splinter and get them and cause throat and gums
intestines and stomach. Yeah, a lot of
So never feed your dog a cooked bone. That's the thing. Raw bones, they're made to eat. So you just want to monitor, you know, how much they're eating or whatever. Like she said, those round marrow bones, you can get those at the store. Those are a very good treat for dogs. They like the inside, and then they take them a long time to work on them. So
actually, that was my first introduction. When we first were switching over, I started with the marrow bones that had a little meat on them, just to do as a dental floss for my dog, and just by doing that, it helped clean her teeth up very quickly.
Yeah, and it's a good treat. It's very natural.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to be tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the 17th of November. Is a Friday.
10 o'clock.
We're going to be 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. So if you live on the East Coast, that's 11 o'clock. If you live in California, that's 8 o'clock. And if you live in Colorado, that's 9 o'clock. So we broke it all down for you. So 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, we're going to be live. We got a big announcement that we want you guys to help us with, partake in. Also, we want to name the dog. We're going to have 3 names for you guys. We're going to do the live show for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, something, whatever. And then we're going to leave it up. And then by the time we go to bed tomorrow night, we are going to have a name for our sweet little girl. And we're going to give you guys the names, and then you guys are going to narrow it down. It's just a lot easier that way. Otherwise, everyone will leave a comment saying this name, that name, this name, that name. So we just want to get a general consensus on some names that we already like. And if you like these shirts, you saw it in the chicken video that I did right here, which was just for fun, guys. Some of you guys are watching these videos, you get so uptight. I mean, I just made it just for fun. It's not, you know, it's just for fun. It is a good, another alternative way if you leave your chickens.
If your chickens are out and then you
if they're open ranging and you want to chase them down, that's a good alternative. But yeah, we know about getting them off the coop in the night, put them in the box, and you can do them in the morning, or just don't let them out in the morning, and then you can get them then and before you let everyone out. I mean, sure, there's lots of different ways. We have a hook, you know, a leg hook, a shepherd's hook, whatever you want to call it. But we appreciate all your suggestions, but it was just a spoof video. It was just kind of for fun. I just felt like making a kind of I thought it would make you guys laugh and be a big hit. And also too, I had a video that I'll leave right here that we did on Thursday, or on Wednesday I did, when I put in a gate. And in that video is a good security tip if you guys have gates on your homestead, and you might want to do a walk around your property and double check your gates because of that tip about security of your gate on your homestead. So don't forget, 10 o'clock tomorrow, live right here. Be there, be square. Don't forget to check us out on
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and try to get there tomorrow because we need to name our puppy.
And you guys, really seriously consider doing a raw food diet for your dog. It's for their health. If you love your dog, you're going to really look into this. Do your homework.
Yeah,
don't believe anything that we say.
Research it.
Research it. Do your homework. But I'm telling you, it is for the health and the betterment of your dog. Okay?
And we always talk about, you know, not cooking your food and depleting all the enzymes.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. Dogs they need life. They need this energy and vitality. And like I was saying earlier in the video, how, you know, dogs are suffering all these same human-related diseases.
Even worse. And vaccines, just don't get us started. But don't forget, this is going to be a multi-video series, and we're even make a playlist when we're done, and we're going to show you guys just her growing up and eating the raw food diet. And
she loves her raw food. She does. She loves it. She runs to our little 100-year-old ice box, and she's waiting. She's so cute.
Yeah,
she knows her food immediately. After the first meal, she was there every time. So she knows it.
All right.
Cute.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.
Tomorrow.
guys, thanks for watching our video. You might want to check out these videos.
And if you want to become a homestead homie, click the picture of us below.
We will see you tomorrow.